14th is the day you're talking about. According to the emails and the timeline, the CIA circulates new talking points after they've removed a mention of Al-Qaeda. And then at 6:21, the White House, add a line about the administration warning of September 10th of social media reports calling for demonstrations. True?
I believe so.
Did you also change attacks to demonstrations in the talking points?
Maybe. I don't really remember.
You don't remember?
Dude, this was like 2 years ago.
Dude, this was like 2 years ago. All right, joining us now, the panel. We're rejoined by Seton Motley, founder of Less Government, and John Gizzi, Newsmax, Washington, D.C. correspondent. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, good, good. All right, John, what do you make of Tommy Vitor, I believe it's pronounced, the former spokesperson for the NSC, on Bret Baier's show yesterday, sitting there saying, hey, dude, it was 2 years ago. How am I supposed to remember this?
It does not serve the administration he formerly was a part of very well, to say the least. And let me tell you something about Tommy Vitor. He was someone, regardless of what one thought of the administration or its national security policy, was respected by those of us who cover the White House. He was a very accessible person, often meeting with people, sometimes even having meetings at Caribou Coffee, the administration's favorite place down Pennsylvania Avenue, when they didn't want to talk in the press room. This is very unbecoming of him, but it just serves to prove the point that there is a malaise of untruth and deception going through the administration, and right now it's metastasizing. It started with Fast and Furious, continued with the IRS scandal, and now it goes on with the continuing unraveling of the sad events at Benghazi.
And Seton, let me ask you, because, well, let's play the next bite. Let's play the next sound bite and the question that's asked of him at the end of this sound bite.
Brown testified that they knew where the ambassador was, that they were very military in their precision.
I remember,
it was not guys that were coming to protest. They had mortars and heavy weapons.
Brett, a couple of things. One, I was in the Situation Room that night, okay, and we didn't know where the ambassador was definitively. In fact,
was the president in the Situation Room?
No.
Was the president in the Situation Room, Seton? And the president was not in the Situation Room. He was further asked where the president was. He said he was in the White House. Where? He gave a snarky, well, we didn't have a GPS tracking system on him. And where was he when Hillary Clinton made the phone call to him at 10 o'clock or whatever? I don't know. What in the world could the president have been doing that was more important than being in the Situation Room, if he was in fact in the White House at another part of the House? How is it possible he was not there?
2 points. One, the snarky answer he gave was, I don't have a GPS on him in the residence, which means Obama was in the residence while this was going on. So he's upstairs from where the action goes on in the White House. Second of all, he said he wasn't in the room. I was in the Situation Room. The Situation Room is singular, one room. He would know if he was in there. So, yeah, Obama was sleeping up and getting ready for his fundraiser in Las Vegas the next day.
And, John, I mean, that, you know, I got to tell you, if we had an honest media, that would have been a huge, because it's never been established where Barack Obama was. Now it's been established where he was not, and that should be a huge story.
Yes, it certainly should, and it'll be interesting to see how this story is played and whether indeed it's played in the mainstream press. One thing I will tell you that I've seen covering scandal in Washington, be it on the Republican side of the House when members who wander off the rules are not punished right away, or when administrations do not let a lot of information get out. What's bad is what's happened, but what's worse is the cover-up. And the lesson in this should be one we've heard many times in the past. Just tell the truth right away and let the chips fall. The administration didn't do this, and it's paying a price.
Now, John, the way one thing that has resonated within the mainstream media has been the way they've been treated by Jay Carney. You know, whether it's Ed Henry, Jonathan Karl, Jake Tapper, others, they're not buying this. This memo was not about Benghazi. John King on CNN, lots of them that I'm shocked at are saying, wait a minute, you know, why didn't they release this in the first place? And why was it released by the White House now under court order to release Benghazi documents if this wasn't about Benghazi? So how do you feel about, and what have you seen as the reaction, maybe behind the scenes from these reporters and these members of the press to what's been going on lately?
Okay. Jay Carney is now having his Scott McClellan moment very clearly. You'll recall Scott McClellan, who was press secretary in President Bush's second term, and after Katrina never could draw a peaceful breath. He was gone after the midterm elections of '06. I'm not going to predict anything about the tenure of Jay Carney. I will say one thing. My colleagues in the White House press corps, and I was with them just today, during Chancellor Merkel's joint press conference with the president, they're growing more and more disgusted with the man behind the podium we have to deal with every day. Confrontation flies like shrapnel in the briefing room. And one other thing to note, they had a very important meeting today at the White House between Chancellor Merkel and the president. They discussed energy policy, national security agency, understandings, and of course Ukraine. All of this will be mentioned in perhaps 2, 3, maybe 4 questions on Monday at the next briefing. Benghazi will dominate all. And if you think that it's a dominant issue, wait till the hearings start in the House by the select panel. All
right, we're going to continue. I will want to ask John one question when we come back. Very quickly, why was there no Benghazi questions? We got 20 seconds. No Benghazi questions from the press conference today.
Because there were 2 questions that were permitted from the American press, 2 from the German press, and I have to say I think that the American press, out of respect to Chancellor Merkel, a very important ally and friend of the United States, focused on the topics that she had discussed at her meetings with the president.
Gotcha. All right, we'll come back. John Gizzi and Seton Motley, don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back with part 2 of the Malzberg panel.